Dear Santa, I'm really usually not one to write you a letter and complain about things, but this year is very different. We need to discuss what you will leave for me under my tree. You know what? This conversation needs to happen over a song. Santa baby, slip a Starbucks under the tree for me. Been an awful long year, Santa baby, hurry down the chimney tonight. Santa honey, a 53 Skylark too, light blue. I'll wait up for you, dear Santa baby, hurry down the chimney tonight. Think of all the conventions I've missed. Think of all the geeks that are really pissed. Next year better be oh so good. You check off my Amazon list. Santa honey, I really want an Instapot. That's not a lot. Kept my distance all year. Santa baby, hurry down the chimney tonight. Santa honey, one little thing I really do need. Some weed from a local dispensary. Santa cutie, hurry down my chimney tonight. Santa baby, fill my stockings with the sugar wax and a pass on my 2020 income tax. Santa baby, hurry down my chimney tonight. Come and steampunk my Christmas tree. Some decorations made from quirky artisans, please. I really do believe in you. Let's see if you believe in me. Santa honey, forgot to mention one little thing. Some wings for my next cosplay, please. Santa baby, hurry down my chimney tonight. Hurry down the chimney tonight. Hurry tonight. Merry Christmas, guys. Love ya.
Whoops. How's it going, everyone? Willow Schuyler here. This is Willow's Pillow Talk. Welcome to Willow's Christmas Spectacular. I gave it a shiny new name. Same shit, different file. You all are loving the hat, so I made it work. I won't play the whole thing, though. It gets annoying pretty quick. So, well, what happened this year? It was a fucking shithole. But I managed to start my podcast as I've been wanting to for the last 10 years. All right, so I sat out, I guess, 10 years ago on Blog TV, trying to start off a talk show. It got busy, started working for Starbucks, and I got distracted with a bunch of other shit that needed to be done. And, well, okay, in between there, I got married. Adopted 7 cats. Yeah, so Yeah, well, this year definitely is a dumpster fire for sure. Um, so yeah, this year got the fire lit up under my ass to start my podcast, and here we are. What was it? March I started. April started with Reels and Heels. My co-host should be showing up soon. If I belch, I really apologize. I do try to mute my mic, but apparently it's a nervous twitch I have. Yes, I adopted 7 cats. Yeah, well, they adopted me. Yeah. Athena showed up. Our stray cat, Athena, showed up at my in-laws, and of course we couldn't say no to such a cute face, and we found out she was pregnant. So about a couple months later, we ended up having, well, we had 2 males already. Mine, like, I've been doing odd shows for Blog TV, a website that specializes in streaming. That's how I kind of got the bug for, and I tried being a broadcaster. I took broadcasting. I graduated broadcasting school, and couldn't really get a go at it. But oh, it's okay, guys. Don't worry about it. I'll just try to rant and rave as much as possible. I'll play some videos, maybe even sing a little. But yeah, no, I graduated broadcasting school. I tried doing something with my life, and ended up working for Starbucks for 11 years. So at least I'm doing something fun. I do nothing but odd shows. Yeah. That's pretty much what I do. It's the show is very random, so hopefully in the new year I'll be able to kind of somewhat normalize some things and have a straight day instead of doing these random broadcasts. But I'm glad that you guys put up with me. And Brian, you know what you have created with the Rising Tide family. You guys are amazing. What I'm doing with Hanging with Web is only a fraction of what you guys promote every single day with what you do. So I appreciate what you guys do, and I appreciate your creativity, and thank you very much for sharing my shows. And I will continue to share your stuff as much as we can. But yeah, you know what? Since broadcasting with Hanging with Web, I've met so many great people, so many other creative people, and it's driving me to be more and more creative, which is great for what we're going through right now. And you know what? At first, I was worried about the pandemic, but you know what? Since I made so many friends, you know what? I'm not so worried. I can message any of you guys and say, hey, I'm having an off day. I need some turnaround. And you know what? You guys are responsive, and I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you, Brian. I am very glad that we are friends too. I appreciate what you do, and I've been even Ryan is still at awe with what you do every day. Yeah, I do. I actually just put myself on my own Twitch, so you can find me on Twitch at 63Beast. I'm on YouTube. I'm all over the place. I'm the social media socialite, as I like to call myself. Lori Smith, it's great to see you. Thank you for stopping by. I interviewed them not that long ago, actually just as the pandemic started. That is on my Podbean page. I'll have to share it again. I have only 2 interviews up. I have to put a third one up. I have to put all my shows up on there. I'm not very tech savvy, believe it or not. I am terrible at technology. It doesn't always work very well for me. So I will have to figure out how to take this audio and put it on my Podbean. Yeah, we get around. Oh yeah. But yeah, no, it's been a great year for me meeting other creatives, and I want this. I don't want the pandemic to continue, but I want what we've started here to continue. And much like every nerd during the pandemic, we've all created ourselves a podcast. And speaking of other nerds who has a podcast, Josh, how's it going, bud? But yeah, no, and I will continue to share everybody's podcast as much as possible. Oh, yep. Sorry. Yep. Okay. He's not ready. But that was Brian. He is my co-host. He's the one who got me started with hanging with Web. So I owe a lot of what I'm doing right now to him and his wife. We have a podcast called Reels and Heels, going on every Saturday. You guys will catch me Saturday afternoon. We should all be lucky that we're all wearing pants right now. Are you guys ready? He's still doing his makeup.
All
right.
Hi.
Good to
Oh yeah, he was still doing his makeup. He is very much prima donna.
Teresa, I just interviewed her just recently, last week. So good to see you, Teresa. Thanks for stopping in. I am currently trying to keep Kevin get his StreamYard stuff up. Good. I can't wait.
If it wasn't for Brian, I wouldn't know what the heck I was doing.
If it wasn't for you guys, I don't know, I probably would be still trying to figure out my shit.
I think we should just blame that all on Brian, because I still don't have my shit together, but that's okay.
Well, at least he's he's trying to make sure that our show is, has people to watch. So
we're moving forward, at least.
I'm trying to remember how we actually met. I think it was through the Constellation group. I don't know. There's so many nerd groups that I'm a part of. So
what are you doing? Are you going to come sit down or what?
I'm going to get myself some chicken, but Will and I have been friends on Facebook for a while. I think it's through maybe a cosplay or a comic group.
Oh, did you hear him?
There's hey Mark, how's it going?
I'm all right. You?
That
Good.
fancy background.
Oh yeah, I know, eh?
Him and his roommate have been going crazy with these great backgrounds and shows, and you guys just recently got picked up with your show through Shaw.
We have. We are now Shaw every night, 11 o'clock and 2 a.m. Excuse me, my asthma is killing me.
That time of year.
Yeah, it's pretty cold outside today too, so that doesn't help.
I just came back from Dugald.
Oh.
I was picking up. Stephanie bought me a really nice cabinet.
Okay.
So,
How's John doing?
as far as I can tell, he's doing great. Better than me. He's just moving his car right now.
Oh.
Give me a second. I'm just going to go get my inhaled steroid. I'll be right back.
Absolutely.
So what is the weather like up there?
Fucking cold. I'm not a weather woman, but it's fucking cold. Okay, so because
Thanks for breaking it down for me.
Because
I remember, I have not forgotten.
Because I'm Canadian, we go by Celsius. It is minus 22 Celsius. Fahrenheit, it is -7.
All right. Well, I'll leave that to y'all because I'm not.
Well,
I'm not ever going back north.
Well, I mean, at least you guys are 14 degrees. That's t-shirt weather for us.
Well, we're about 50. I don't know. Tonight it got down to 50. I don't know. I think when I got out of the car it was 54. So that's Fahrenheit. So
Yeah.
You know, because us
Right.
Americans, we can't get our crap together as far as being on the metric system. Which clearly isn't the only thing we can't get together.
Well, I mean, hey, you guys have probably better health care than us anyway.
I'm going to blame it all on Trump.
It costs $1 million.
All right,
third of
Jerome,
my
we'll see you
paycheck.
later. Alfred, good to see you.
Alfred.
And his back to work.
Yeah.
That pesky thing called work.
It's ruined many lives. And many plans.
Ruins all my fun. All my sleeping in. But see, I like money. So, you know.
Yeah.
Who doesn't?
That buys food and
You should tell her about
toys and
today's schedule at tutoring. How it was broken up.
oh yeah. So my tutoring schedule this morning was 10. I did a academic evaluation, so I went in at 10. I got finished at 1, and I didn't have another session until 5:30. So I'm like, I'm not staying on this side of town. So I drove all the way home and hung out for 2 hours and drove all the way back.
Oh wow. Hey, the Enterprise. Woohoo! I gotta get
You
myself
gotta figure out how to do these backgrounds. This is cool.
I showed them StreamYard, and now they've gone above and beyond with it.
And all the fun we can have.
At least they can figure out technology.
I'm a nerd.
So am I. Apparently, it's not working well for me.
We're nerds too, just to get a different kind of nerd because we don't work so well around technology.
No.
Okay, I'm a geek.
Technology. Technology hates me. I swear. I swear it breaks down every time I go near it.
So, question: is my lips in sync with my voice?
It looks
Blah
like
blah
it.
blah. Yappity yappity yappity. Yep.
Yep.
Good. It turned out that on our show, especially on our Christmas show, our voices were not in sync,
Oh,
and it happened. Excuse me.
I wonder if
Has
that
to do
has
with this
to.
little thing right here.
I wonder if that has to do with StreamYard. Sometimes that kind of
It seemed,
StreamYard kind of is funny.
it seemed to be no, because our guests were all in sync.
Yeah.
But what it seemed to be was the mixer USB codec.
Okay.
Because now I'm running through this. That's
okay.
that's the little boom mic from the top of my camera, and it's going to the camera and then coming back USB with the video stream, and seems to be working fine.
Yeah. Huh. Hey, Grant. Good to see you.
Hey, ho, Grant.
I don't think Grant watches the show because he's like, "What's the topic?" I'm like, "Oh."
Well, that's
When
exactly
have
the
you
problem.
ever known me to be on topic?
I'm not usually on topic either, so
This is just the random show to shoot the shit. See how far we can go before we go off the rails, or see if we can get.
First mistake you brought me on. That's going
It'll
off
go
the
off
rails.
the rails eventually.
okay. You know what? Though up here on the little bar thing, it says there's 13 people watching. So
I can't see that.
Apparently, I'm doing good.
I can't see how
14
many.
now.
They got afraid that we noticed.
Did you watch the final? Did you watch the season finale for The Mandalorian?
No. I don't want to. I don't want to cry.
Don't cry. If
was so
you
good.
don't cry like I cry, you won't cry.
Okay.
I
It was
didn't cry.
amazing.
I mean, go right ahead if you guys want to talk about Mandalorian. I mean, you guys.
Well, speaking of Mandalorian, I still need to show this. I showed this before, but
Oh! I just had a nerdgasm.
We have a store down here called Five Below,
Mhm.
where everything's $5.
Oh wow.
So that canvas was $5, and then I bought another one yesterday,
I gotta go with that one. That one's a cool one.
and
I want one of those. I'm in the Falcon now.
I'm eating. So with the tutoring being the way it was, the whole day was messed up. So I went to Publix and I bought chicken, and they have sushi Wednesdays.
Oh,
So
wow.
it's $5 California rolls. So I was eating $5 California rolls, and now I'm eating rotisserie chicken and macaroni and cheese
Sweet.
because
Well, we decided to do Taco Tuesday on a Wednesday.
Well, we did Pasta Tuesday yesterday, so.
So yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
so this is the other one. But we did watch the Mandalorian season finale, and like my kid is freaking out because he's like,
Fan
"Why?
wank.
Do I have to wait an entire year?"
I'm gonna start using that fan wank.
Well, I'll tell you, that CGI at the end was amazing.
I'm so dumb. What's going on?
He's being sarcastic.
I'm really dumb. I don't know.
I wasn't being sarcastic. I meant it.
What CGI? What is going on with the funky thingamajiggy? I don't know what's going. I don't know. I'm dumb. I can't remember.
Well,
Whatever.
What I can say is that Collider's deep fake was better than what Lucasfilm
Oh.
did.
The syncing of his mouth.
I didn't care about that. Just having him there was cool.
Well, no, usually the CGI with getting the looks are good, but they could have done better with the mouth because it looked like he wasn't talking.
It was like a bad Japanese Godzilla movie. I was like,
You know what? The thing is I saw him on what did I see him on the other day? On something the other day, and watching him live, it looks like he's not talking either. So I don't think it was a matter that they got the sync wrong. I think they got it right, and that's the problem.
Maybe the guy is out of sync himself.
No, he doesn't move his mouth much. He never has moved his mouth much when he talks.
Oh,
maybe that's
When
why
he's
they
doing
couldn't get it to
voiceovers,
look
he does.
right.
If you ever watch him,
It was weird. I was like, you can tell he's not really. I mean, it's Mark Hamill's voice, but it wasn't really Mark Hamill's face.
oh no, he was standing there, and they put those things all over him, and they made it move like his face, right?
The young.
He was on
the
set.
young him.
weird.
I don't know.
Yeah, you could tell it was him, like in certain scenes, because he's got a belly.
Wait, he's got a way of moving.
Well, yeah, but like if you looked, you could see his hands.
Yep.
And there were certain scenes when he turned, he's got a gut.
Yep.
And you could see it in a couple of the scenes.
It's called age.
Well,
So it'll look okay on my tube TV as opposed to a high def TV.
Probably look better.
so I did say that I was like not really shocked that he showed up, but I also wasn't a fan per se because I'd rather have seen someone else get the spotlight. I know this is 5 years after.
Unpopular opinion.
Yeah, it's unpopular, but could we
Apparently
have
it looked way
anybody
better.
other than Skywalker? I mean,
He did.
Not
Yeah,
Luke
I agree with
Skywalker.
that. He did look better than Leia. They did up it. He did look better than young Leia. I would have really liked to seen Ahsoka change her mind and come back and get him. That or Ezra Bridger.
well, we're gonna get Ezra Bridger and Ahsoka's show, I believe.
Well, yeah, because she's going after him, right?
How do you guys feel about Sebastian Stan playing Luke, young Luke?
I have no problem with it.
Well,
If they're going to go back and visit it. They're going to go back and visit it. They've got to. People have got to be able to, stretch out that disbelief. Get rid of the disbelief and just say, okay, he's going to be no different than getting the new Spock and the new Kirk and the new,
Yeah.
Well, that's the running joke that Mark Hamill and Sebastian Stan, like, there's a few times that they met on the red carpet, and he always calls him father.
Yeah,
because they do look alike, and so that's been the running joke for the last 3 or 4 years.
they look like family.
Yeah.
I think everybody's a naysayer until somebody steps in the shoes and is able to fill them. I mean,
Correct.
they did that to Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. They did it to Chris Evans as Captain America. I mean,
Well, in all honesty, we were used to him being the Torch, so it's.
well, yes, but people grow and people get better with. I think everybody gets a little bit better with age. I don't think it get worse.
He does a way better Captain America than Human Torch, mind you.
He is America's ass.
I've never been a fan of Fantastic Four. I'm sorry, Brian.
I never. You know what? I honestly never put the two together.
Although
I'm not really a Fantastic Four fan either. But I understand how they're important.
Well, they're Marvel's first.
It's not a profit. I mean, it's not a property that's.
If they were that important, they would have been there in the
but-
Infinity War.
Let's put
What
it
did
to you
you
this
say?
way.
Said if they were that important, they would have been there for the Infinity Wars. They were off doing whatever.
Let's put it to you this way: Marvel's gonna have to try very, very hard with this one, with the new iteration of Fantastic Four, to convince me that Johnny Storm and Ben Grimm can be astronauts.
Well, Ben Grimm, what the story with Ben Grimm is, he's a great pilot, and they needed a pilot. That's why he was chosen.
Okay, well, they're gonna have to add that more to the story then, instead of making him just muscle.
I think though that when they cast Michael Chiklis in that movie,
That was perfect. That was
the
perfect.
casting was good, just based on what I know. But I just feel like they're always going to be supporting characters for me. That's not something that I care, to see the movie all by itself. I think it really got ruined for me when, with the first movie. Mm-hmm. Not that I didn't appreciate Chris Evans.
Well, they all kind of did a good job at their roles. I don't know. Jessica Alba as Sue Storm. I don't know. I like Jessica Alba, but I don't think she should have been Sue Storm.
I honestly, I can't really back on too much about that, but
so have to be her.
But I mean, I can very much get behind John Krasinski as
Reed
Richards, only because I love John Krasinski and I want to see him in the Marvel universe.
She did herself a disservice. Well, I guess she kind of allowed herself to get that way, but Dark Angel, I love that series. Dark Angel is an amazing series, and I love the fact that they allowed her to be a strong female character. I don't know. It's just later on.
It's funny. She brings up Dark Angel. You know who was in Dark Angel that you really love?
No, I don't remember because I didn't have the WB.
Well, this is like before Supernatural. Jensen Ackles.
I forgot about that.
Wait, are you kidding me? There's something that I haven't seen with him in it?
This was, before Smallville.
Must watch Dark Angel. Okay. New list. Dark Angel. How did I miss this? I don't know.
I'm feeling out nerded.
Oh no, I did it again.
No, it's because I don't watch these things. I don't watch these things.
Brian kills me every single time because he's like, "Here, let's watch this show. You'll love it." And I'm like, "No, we don't need to watch another show." Puts it on, and I'm like, "Son of a bitch!" Now we're watching another 15,000 episodes of
Have you guys seen The Good Place?
Yes.
How many seasons has it gone up to now? Is it on its fourth already?
Isn't it?
It's finished.
Okay. Okay, I need to finish.
Season.
I missed watching the last season.
I loved it so much.
I love Kristen Bell. I love her so much.
And it's not because she's from Michigan, right?
I'm watching it for like the third or fourth time now.
It is a good show. It is really funny. I don't know. It took me a while to actually get used to. I love the comedy. I love the comedy right away, but some of the storylines just kind of. But.
Well, I just want to be in the writer's room when they're like, all right, we need to come up with a way of saying this cuss word.
Without saying a cuss word.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was real bullshit.
Fork? Why can't I say fork?
You forking asshole?
That, you know what? To do that, I would have to actually think really hard of what I say.
Well, I've been saying frack since I was a teenager.
True.
Now I just have to change it so that now I'm saying the Mandalorian curse words. I think I would get away with it better at school.
I've been saying the curse words from Firefly for like probably a decade.
Hey, what do you think about them doing a Disney picking it up and carrying on?
Let's hope it's not family friendly like they're saying that they want to make it.
Well, I don't think they will.
But a lot of the humor in that show gets lost if you make it always family friendly.
That is true.
The story, the spirit behind Firefly will be lost if they decide to do family friendly.
Well,
it won't be family friendly. Look at the Marvel films.
Yeah, they're not family friendly.
That's true.
And quite frankly, the Mandalorian isn't either. I mean, he's a murderous son of a bitch.
Okay, well, I have a skewed understanding of family friendly because the kids, we all sit and watch Mandalorian.
No, I'm talking about if any child would have a brain knows when he's swearing, even if he's not saying he's not saying fuck. It doesn't matter. They know they get the gist. They've heard it enough.
My kids know how to swear in the real way and the fake way too. So it's not really a thing. Like for me, family friendly is we all sat down and watched Harley Quinn. So I guess it's really not that bad of a deal. Like
the Wash is gone, and the Shepherd is gone.
See, I'd like to see them continue on the story of the characters after the fact of all that. Because I mean, hey, Zoe could be pregnant with or could have been pregnant with Wash's baby. You know, let's see a continuation with. Now it's been 10 years, longer than that.
We've come to love the character so much, and it's become such a cult classic that I don't think that
rebooting
could they get everybody? No. And so if they can't get everybody, they're going to do a disservice to the show if they try to recast and make that dynamic again.
Yeah. Well, and this is only rumors because none of the bigger trades are talking about it right now. And if you find all the information from We've Got This Covered, most of the times it's bullshit. But I think anything that has Joss Whedon's name attached to it, I think we're going to kind of go away from right now just because of all the the stuff going on with him. And apparently the stuff that followed him, it goes all the way as far back as Buffy.
Just knowing that he's a jerk just kind of hurts me a little bit because I absolutely loved his shows.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't take away from his creativity. He's a genius when it comes to creating things. It's just there is a point where you think, when can you separate the art from the artist? I mean, sometimes you can't.
That's true.
And the nature of whatever, like, I don't think some people ever really recover. Like, I mean, if you think about Mel Gibson, he never really recovered.
No, I don't like Mel Gibson anymore.
Tom Cruise hasn't recovered, really. I mean, like, he has, but he hasn't.
Well, let's talk about the biggest on the list, and that would be Michael Jackson.
Well, he never recovered from everything people did to him either, and I think that was part of the problem with his death.
And you know what? The thing is that you're going to have people on both sides. People who say, he definitely didn't. People who said, he definitely did. And then the rest of us who are like, you know what? He was messed up from childhood, but you can't take away his ability. I mean, one of the biggest things with the Jackson thing, the first family that sued him, the father had come to him for $13.4 million to open up his own studio. And Michael Jackson said no. So they took him to court. And for some reason, they settled out of court for $13.4 million. I'm telling you right now, I don't care who you are. You did that to my child. There's no money that's going to buy me off. I'm going to have your tattooed ass on my wall if you touch my child.
Yeah.
$13.4 million is not going to take away the scarring you did to my kid. And then later on, the kid says once he's an adult and can talk for himself, He never touched me.
Yeah. Well, look at Macaulay Culkin, who's a big defender of Michael Jackson, and so is Corey Feldman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So like this comes up a lot on John Campia's show when they're talking about like musical biographies and stuff. You can't do a Michael Jackson one because you're gonna, piss off one side or the other, and the same thing with like Mike Tyson. You want to make a Mike Tyson biography. You're either gonna make it one way and leave out stuff, or you're gonna make it the other way and put stuff in, and it's gonna make people mad. So it's
People they don't seem to be able to just, look. Let's take a look at the bigger picture of who the person was. I mean, going back to, for example, I don't follow Mike Tyson, so I mean, once he bit the guy's ear off, he became interesting.
Yeah.
A little bit of cannibalism in boxing, I thought it was needed. But going back to like things like Michael Jackson, I'm a huge Jackson fan, right?
Yeah.
So I think he was screwed up. Absolutely, he was messed up beyond repair. But that has his father written all over it, right? Here's a grown man trying to claim back his childhood, but you take a look at the musical art that was behind him and the work ethic that was behind him. What can you take from him that you can't?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, people want to be haters, they want to be lovers. It doesn't matter. It's in the middle where the truth lies, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of people can't look at a subject like this without polarizing one way or the other. And that's when you can't have a good conversation. Look at the Bee Gees. I'm a fanatic about the Bee Gees. I love them to death.
Yeah, I want to see that documentary that's on HBO.
Great.
Joe and I just watched it, and it's really good.
It is so good. When Morris died, I was heartbroken. And then when Robin died, even more so. Looking at Barry Gibb now, like when you see him in the in the documentary,
Yeah,
you can see how he has aged poorly.
Yeah.
Right? But he's still writing. He's still active. He's still doing stuff. I mean, that family, they took a pounding. Andy Gibb, he couldn't handle the fame. He wanted to be a part of what the Bee Gees were doing.
Yeah.
And when it became time for him to do so, it ripped him apart.
Yeah.
And
he died just before he turned 30.
He ended his own life. They even they touch on it in my brain in the documentary.
So let me ask you this, Mark. What is your favorite Bee Gees song?
Oh my, that's a real tough one because I like Jive Talk.
He wrote so many good ones.
Anything really from the Saturday Night Fever soundtrack, but Tragedy is probably my favorite of all.
Mm-hmm.
Followed by Alone.
That's a really good one.
Or One. Those ones, those are his latest ones, the newer ones. Here's one for you. They never got to record because Maurice died. And the Scissor Sisters sang it. I Don't Feel Like Dancing.
Right.
Listen to that song, and you tell me you cannot hear the Bee Gees undertone in it. Written for them, they couldn't do it. Somebody else had to do it.
There was a whole conspiracy thing back in the 90s. There's a big UK group called Take That.
Yep.
And Gary Barlow wrote a song in about 30 to 40 minutes called Back for Good. It was huge worldwide. And the conspiracy is that the Bee Gees ghost wrote that song, which, come down. It's not true, but that rumor's been out there for years. And
that's just because the influence of the Bee Gees on the song is huge.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of groups that have taken on tried to take on the sound of another group, but very few actually hit it. You'll never find another group that sounds like the Eagles.
Oh,
You'll never
no.
find another group that sounds like Steve Miller Band. You'll never find another group that sounds like Jake Giles.
There's never going to be another Freddie Mercury.
No, never. But then you get the odd one. Journey's new singer or latest singer, the Filipino guy, right?
Yeah, he sounds just like
He sounds more like the original singer than the original singer.
I'm gonna have to listen to this.
Yeah, he's.
It's surprising. It really is surprising.
Didn't they find him on YouTube?
They found him on YouTube, and the funny story behind it is that somebody sent them the link that said, "Look at this guy. He sounds just like Steve Perry." They thought he was lip syncing at first, but then he starts talking in the middle of his song, and you could see it. So they sent him an email and said, "This is Journey, and we'd really like you to sing for us." And he thought that he was being pranked. So he sent them a fuck off letter. So Journey jumped on their plane, flew down to Manila, found the bar where his band was playing, and sat in the audience. And after they were done, walked up and they said, "That's as good of an audition as you're gonna need. How'd you like to sing for us? A little bit of voice training here and there just to smooth out some of the edges." And it's never been the same for him.
Yeah. Well, they did the same thing last year for the Queen movie. There was a guy on YouTube that was doing Freddie Mercury on the piano, and he wasn't trying to imitate Freddie or anything. Sounded just like Freddie. So what they did was, for all the singing parts in the movie, it is this guy singing the Freddie Mercury parts.
And he did a great job. I mean, I love the Freddie Mercury that movie. I thought it was absolutely well done.
Yeah. Will, there was some news that dropped in Hollywood over the last week here, and I'm going to ask Mark about it, and I'll ask you. MGM's looking for a buyer, $5.5 billion. We're talking the Bond franchise, the Rocky franchise, anybody but Disney. Anybody but Disney. Who do you think buys MGM?
Ooh, Universal.
Elon Musk.
Universal?
I think Universal might. Because,
Really?
I mean, quite frankly, MGM, that is one hell of a buy. The catalog alone.
Well, and everything from like the 40s. I mean, everything from way back.
Yeah.
If they buy MGM, they triple their catalog.
Yeah, I know a lot of people
I've got somebody
were
at the door.
saying,
I'll be right back.
Yeah, no worries.
a lot of people were talking that you have people like Sony that's looking for content to maybe possibly hop into the streaming wars. But then there's places like Apple and Netflix, you know. I don't think Netflix would because they're looking for original content. But Apple, who has a streaming service, has really no content.
No.
Well,
I mean, what a way to get content, right?
Yeah.
Virgin's been pretty quiet the last little while, so, you know, it's only a matter of time before he pipes up again.
But again, like you said, Elon Musk, if he buys
Elon
it,
Musk.
he can just
You know
leave
what?
it as MGM and their catalog stands by them alone again, right? Yeah.
I mean, I guess we'll really have to see who decides to come out of the woodwork with everything that's happening.
Yeah,
But
I know everybody's like Disney. It's like Disney just spent $73 billion for Fox. They're not in a position to buy anything right now.
But also, if you think about it, Disney's got to be careful at this point.
Yep.
They bought Marvel, they bought Fox. They have
Hey,
to be
John.
really careful.
Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Fine. Go ahead. Don't let me interrupt.
I don't even know where I was going with that.
It's okay. Guys, this is John Yumberg. He's
Hi.
He's our resident Santa Claus.
yes, he does actually do Santa Claus. I've shared Brian and Nicole are my co-hosts for Reels and Heels.
Oh.
I've shared your video, your Santa Claus video. Yes, Virginia, there is a Santa Claus.
Virginia.
Or Virginia, sorry.
I was meant for everybody else as well. not just the virgins.
No, there's no Virgin. Virginia, you.
Can I just say I love your guys' show? Now what?
Because guys is a word.
I am so sorry. I need to give you an apology. I'm going to do it live on this show. On our first show, I said I will contact you tomorrow or the next day, and we'll set you up to come on our show. And I never did. I am a dink.
You are a man of broken promises.
It's his fault.
Shut up.
Okay.
I just love watching your opening because that's just hilarious.
Well, I gotta.
When he's coming out of the bathroom in the robe, and yeah.
Yeah, well, that wasn't planned at all. I wonder how many times he films me in there. I'm a little nervous.
I usually stand over him while he sleeps.
Yeah. Hey, can I rant about something for a minute?
No.
Go for it.
Would you people, not you, but people out there, stop taking pictures of your goddamn dinner? No one gives a shit. I don't care. Oh, I made a wonderful meatloaf. Well, hey, good for you. Maybe soon you'll stop wearing a helmet for 24 hours. I don't give a shit what you had for dinner. Come on. Yeah, the people waiting to see the pictures, just waiting for some of the sweet and sour chicken balls or something to show up. Just stop taking pictures of your food. No one cares. No one cares. Stop it.
And this is why I love stand-up comedians.
No, because I'm serious, man. I was downstairs seething. I'm going flip, meatloaf, flip, roast beef.
That's the dinner I made you.
I don't care. You don't take a picture of it. Who
Yes,
cares?
I did. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous?
Who gives a shit? No one wants to see your meal.
Well, it's going to be Christmas. How are we supposed to know what our turkey's supposed to look like?
Have you ever looked at a turkey? Have you seen a turkey dinner? I don't need to see yours. Hey, take a picture of people having fun, not your. Get out of it. What is that now? You're sick. I've never taken a picture of food. You know what impressed me? Take a picture.
You want to see something really scary?
What the hell is that? Oh, yeah, really? A lot better than meatloaf. Anyways, listen. So, people, please, on behalf of me, before I snap and come to your home and take your Susie bake oven away. All right, you're interrupting my rant. I don't care.
Do you see the subliminal message in there?
What's the subliminal message? Well, let me see it.
Can't
No,
see
you
it.
can't see it.
Upper right corner.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It doesn't make. You can't make it out.
It
Anyways,
says sex.
no, it says Essex, but the tree blocks the S part of it. So
I think it's time to maybe look at hop into
Santa
some
Claus.
Christmas stuff.
just stop taking pictures of you. That's all I'm gonna say.
Hence the Christmas spectacular part of the Christmas.
That's right. That's right.
You know
Yeah.
what? This show is all about
Would you
being
stop?
random. So
You want me to come up here to talk, and you show pictures of your food. Hey, you started it.
so
What?
you've been doing a lot of Santa Claus stuff.
What? I played
You're not
Santa
touching
Claus
that
and a
phone.
George Lopez. I'm a Santa Claus freak. And I started growing this beard probably right after Christmas last year because my 4-year-old granddaughter, Ellie, she asked me to grow a real beard. And because I always dress up like Santa, they know it's me and they know that I'm a helper of Santa Claus. So I've been growing this thing for a year and now I can't go over there.
So poetic
So-
justice.
So
And when I wear a
tomorrow,
mask, a white beard sticking out from under a black mask looks like a 70-year-old woman wearing a bikini. It's not pleasant.
You know,
I am not finished.
Yes, you are. Because
Oh, I am not.
I'm telling you right now, when
What?
I think you can't get more disgusting, you really do surprise me.
Oh, I can get more disgusting. That wouldn't be pleasant, would it? It's like pulling a grilled cheese apart. Now
Wow.
you're like, yeah. Okay.
Hey, it wasn't me this time.
No,
wasn't
it was me. So now I'm going to shave this thing off on the 26th or 27th. I'll have a regular face for about 3 months, then I start growing it back.
He'll never have a regular face. He'll still have
Coming from this guy.
He'll still have his face.
Coming from this guy. Really?
you know what?
When the cons
Guys.
open up, he can actually cosplay as Jerry Garcia.
Yeah, I could. I've been called that before, Jerry Garcia. Yep. You know who he is? He's from the Grateful Dead. It's a really good band. I'll tell you about it.
You're talking to this talking about bands?
No, you looked at me like you had no idea who the Grateful Dead were. Do you have Grateful Dead anywhere in your song list?
Of course I do.
Okay.
Well, ask him if he knows about Ben and Jerry's ice cream because
Yeah, Ben and Jerry from my neck of the woods, Vermont. Yeah, they have Cherry Garcia.
Ben and Jerry's ice cream.
I know, but it's made in Vermont.
It's not. If it wasn't you to derail this show, it would have been someone else. Me.
I didn't derail it. I just.
You should bring Carl on the show. He has a great beard.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
This image stuck in my head.
Yep.
We will have to have a beard off one of these days. I swear, Carl, you have a great beard going.
Did you say Carla?
Carl.
Oh,
Carl.
Carla has a great beard going on, a little hormone imbalance.
I apologize. It's my Canadian accent that keeps coming out.
Never apologize. Never apologize.
Hey, John, I got you something.
Oh, no.
You wanted to be in the Batcave.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah, look at that. There we go.
Study
Pretty
back
cool.
cave
One of our
either. 66
One of,
back
your,
cave.
in one of our episodes, you asked if we could be in the Batcave.
Yes, I did.
And I forgot about it.
And that's a 1966 one, too.
But
Cool.
that's the one you wanted.
It
I
is a
did. I
sexy
wanted
one.
it.
There, and the funny thing is, when I was looking at it, you can't see it in here, I don't think. Unless make us bigger there, Willow.
Absolutely.
Don't know if you can see
I
it.
beg your pardon?
I could try.
No, on one of the
What's that
images,
specter behind us?
look, there's
Ooh.
Greg.
Ooh.
There's Greg. It actually says Bat nuclear reactor on there.
Of course.
I loved it. Bat this, bat toilets over here.
Do you know how far the Bat Cave was from downtown Gotham City? This is true.
There's a sign that says 14.
14 miles. That's right.
14
Good
miles.
for you. Yeah. Yeah.
I was a Batman fanatic. I love. My favorite episode is the movie.
That's the movie.
Yeah, but
Yes.
that's my favorite of all of them.
The anti-shark spray.
The anti-shark spray, and when he's fighting off the shark, it's pinned against the ladder on his leg. You can see the sponge shark bending.
I'm surprised no one caught on that, Dick Grayson was living with good old,
Oh,
That was a
you
lot.
know what?
Well, he was his ward.
his ward. Is that what they call it now?
Yeah,
At that time, it wasn't spoken of.
No, it's like when a teen girl
He-
got pregnant. She's away at school.
he was Bruce Wayne's little spoon.
They went down the bat pole.
Well,
Yeah.
at least.
Hey, how did they get
least Dick
changed
Grayson.
going down the bat pole? Was Alfred like halfway down with a pseudo?
No, it was quickly.
Yeah, well, how? 'Cause you gotta let go, and they put the tights on. And,
Well, the thing you know what? They never really did explain it.
and how come you don't see their regular clothes falling down?
Well, there's these little arms that come out and grab it and pull it away.
They didn't know.
Holds it nicely, puts it away.
No, I never saw that.
It's elves.
I feel like there's a room in between.
No, because if you look, there are episodes where you look and you see from the top all the way down.
Wouldn't it be funny if they got mixed up and came down and like Robin had a ball gag in and
Wrong button.
wrong button, oh,
Or when they came back up.
holy bat plug!
Oh my God.
What? We didn't get a list of rules of things we couldn't talk about.
All right. So
Yes,
Winnie the Pooh has a Winnipeg connection.
of course it does.
All right, we created them. If you guys watch a documentary on brain, I swear to God, I will get my brain
It was
straightened
a
out.
soldier, a Winnipeg soldier that adopted a little orphan bear,
Thank you,
and
John.
he named it Winnie after Winnipeg.
The bear was in our zoo.
Yeah.
Winnie was in our zoo.
And we also have bigger Todd, like James Bond, the character based on James Bond's from Winnipeg,
Yep.
and the
man
animator
called
who worked on Snow White. His name's Cartoon Charlie. He lived off of Ellis Avenue, and he
Yep.
worked for Disney in LA back in the 30s. Snow White was actually designed. He designed Snow White after his favorite waitress at a coffee shop on Ellis Avenue. If you put them side by side, they're identical. You stop it, you freak.
So all
Those
things are
handles for your
connected to
boyfriend.
Winnipeg, guys.
What?
All things are connected to Winnipeg.
That's right. Homer Simpson, Matt Groening's was it Matt Groening's father or grandfather from Winnipeg. So that's why they made Homer Simpson an honorary citizen. You like that kid at recess? Can't play.
I went into the emergency.
See, why am I single and he's not? I just don't get it.
I injured my belly. Coughing. Went to the emergency.
And it's a boy.
And they found out that I had pneumonia. I didn't have any symptoms, but I had pneumonia. Did the
Oh my god!
I did the full course of antibiotics. All of a sudden, I couldn't breathe. Go back in, no more pneumonia. But now my husband's out of control. So I go in there, and the doctor says, "How long have you been hitting the bong?" That was the first thing out of his mouth when he saw me. "How long have you been hitting the bong?"
Well, it's technically called freebasing.
And I said, "I use it as much as often." He goes, "I want you to use that bong every hour." I said, "Why do you keep calling it a bong?" He goes, "That's what I'm going to call it."
He takes way too much of this stuff. You shouldn't be taking it.
I shouldn't be.
So I guess I'll ask the first Christmas question.
Every hour on the hour.
Okay.
Go for it.
Yes. Well,
All right.
I'm going to go back downstairs
So-
in the studio for a bit. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I got a question before you go.
Sure.
What is the one Christmas song that irritates you that plays every year?
Oh my God.
Anything by Mariah Carey.
You know what? This guy plays so much Christmas music that everybody used to tell me to stop playing Christmas
You know, it's
music.
a great tune.
He drives me crazy.
Yeah. Well, listen.
He puts it on and then leaves the house.
You guys don't. You guys don't even have one yarmulke carol except dreidel, dreidel, dreidel. Fucking step up, buddy.
Hey, dude,
Now,
that's a hell of a song.
it's awesome.
Now we've got the Hanukkah
You
song.
probably have the dance mix to it.
Hey, I thought Adam Sandler wrote one.
The Hanukkah song.
Yeah, great. After what 5,000 years after the whole bang.
Hey, you know what? We don't need music
Okay.
to
No, because all you do is whine.
Keep in mind.
Wait, hold on. I heard a great
was
song today.
written
That
by a Jew.
what?
White Christmas was written by a Jew, was it not?
Irving Berlin.
All Christmas songs were written by Jews.
No, they weren't.
Thank you.
I'm taking credit for it.
Yeah, and they paid wholesale for them.
Yeah.
Anyways, listen. Great song that I heard is just rocking, and I've never caught on to it before. It's Run Run Rudolph by Leonard Skinner. It is totally rocking. And so if you just have your little Google thing play it, it's a fun song, and it just cranks with guitar solos, and it's really awesome. Where do you go? What'd you do?
I don't know what that was.
I don't either. The plate in my head. Oh, there you go. Hi, kid.
Yeah. I
that's an
live
awkward
dangerously. If I get banned from Facebook for saying something, so be it. There's
You're not
other.
gonna get banned.
Hey, look at it. Look at this.
Jew.
I'm going to say this from the bottom of my heart. Only a Jew can die 2,000 years ago, and we're still celebrating his birthday today.
That's right. And talk about a lousy carpenter. He couldn't even pull 3 nails out.
No. Well, you know why the women loved him so much, right? He was hung like this.
Oh my god.
Well, that definitely got us off Facebook.
Hey, it's allowed. He is Jewish.
I know.
I'm his wrong. I'm his.
Do you know? Okay.
Great.
He's about as Jewish as I am because with his mother on the show the other night. Hold on, man.
Grandson.
You're with his mother on the show, who's a lovely woman. This guy, who's Jewish evidently, had to look up on Google about Hanukkah.
No, I had to look
You
up.
did. He's looking up. Hey Google, when's Hanukkah?
Because it changes every year. The date's different. Oh, and my mother corrected me on something. There are 28 days. Each month is 28 days long. It goes by every new moon is a new month.
Yes. Every
So,
month has 28 days.
1 year, it's 12 months. 1 year, it's 13 months. Then it switches back and forth. It's like a leap year for them.
Oh, you lost
So
me.
every second year, it's 13 months long to correct it.
You know, you
Right?
folks can get up and make that.
Interesting.
That is interesting, actually. I didn't know it was that
and
complex.
that's
Seriously,
why-
I didn't know it was that complex.
It is. It's weird. I didn't know it was that complex.
I know you looked it up on Google.
No, my mother told me. So she was correcting me because I had said it was every year, and I thought it was.
Look what I can do.
Look what I did.
Ow. Get away from me.
Oh, did you see the episode where I pushed him out of the chair?
2 episodes you pulled me out the chair.
One was a Tuesday.
Yeah, you still pushed me out the chair.
You want to see it?
No.
It's coming.
I feel like you deserved it in some way.
Oh, I know I did. I know I
It
did.
was building for a while, but I really honestly did not think I pushed him that hard.
He did.
And then I realized I'm this close to him.
And he put his weight into it.
And I don't have to put my weight into it. You weigh half as much.
Look,
as I like.
she got away. Look, you made a woman leave the show.
Well, I do. Women just look at me and run.
Oh no.
No,
And
when
then-
you were talking about Jews, I was gonna say the two famous Jewish people that I really like is Mel Brooks and Stan Lee.
Oh my
Mine,
God.
mine are the Three Stooges.
The three
No,
Stooges?
I love them. I love him.
The Stooges are Mo Howard, Curly Howard, and Shemp Howard, and Larry Fine. But Howard was Horowitz, and they shortened it to Howard.
Were they not all brothers?
Mo, Curly, and Shemp were brothers.
Okay.
Larry Fine was not one of the brothers.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. So, on that
Remember
note,
that.
I'm going to go downstairs and post rants against meatloaf and fried fish and stuff. For all those lonely people,
Okay.
all those lonely people taking pictures of their food.
Why do you take that away from them?
Because it's stupid.
You show your face.
So what? No one's eating my face right now.
There's a reason for that.
Oh, I could make a joke.
It doesn't look like food.
Oh my god.
I
I'm
don't scare that easily.
going to go downstairs and cry in the fetal position for a while. It's been a pleasure chatting with you folks.
We love you, John. Have a good night.
Little cherub right here. Look at that guy's face. All right. Merry Christmas and all that other
Merry
stuff.
Christmas.
I
And
love
for
the
God's
beard.
sake,
Don't
stop
shave it
taking
off.
pictures of your food.
People, when he's gone, I'm giving you his email address.
Oh,
Send him pictures of your food.
And be prepared for the show to get even worse.
John Young,
Oh Lord.
he's
Uh-oh.
my co-host in Now What? Please send him pictures of your food.
You think
I
the
mean,
show's
half
bad?
eaten food even better. If your food is half eaten, then I mean, if even better when you take a bite of that steak and it's all grizzly and you have to spit it back out. Take a close look at that.
Oh,
I think I get enough hate mail as it is. I'm
It's better
good.
going in than coming out, right?
it really depends. Peanut butter apparently tastes the same going up.
I'm leaving that alone.
Don't ask how I know. I apparently have watched way too much Bill Engvall, and he says it in one of his things.
I am
you know what you need?
not gonna comment on any of that.
So, my dear Willow,
Yes.
you need to get new headphones that have the Leia bun going.
Oh my god, yes. Yes.
Oh, do you have a picture of us as
I do. I do. All right.
this was a fun night. We were a long time ago in a galaxy far away. I was part of a group called KeyCon, and we were doing a promo shoot for KeyCon. I was dressed up in my Jedi robes, and she was dressed up as Leia, and we were up on top of what is commonly called Garbage Hill. It's a park that's been built over a dump.
They made it so official that they put a sign up that says Garbage Hill.
Yeah.
Much like the Hollywood sign. It's hilarious.
But it was so windy that I was able to lean at a 45-degree angle into the wind with my robes flowing out from me. It looked so cool. But there's a
It's a
picture of
good
us.
thing I was wearing pants that day.
Yes, it was.
Under my Princess Leia outfit.
That'd been a whole different photo shoot.
It would have been, yeah. We would have been on Pornhub.
You know, when cons do come back, you're going to see a lot of people that are going to be super excited because, like, one of the costumes that everyone does is Slave Leia. So we haven't had cons, so I think everyone's
You don't want my
going to
fat
be
ass
like
in a
Slave Leia. We're all
costume.
happy to see Slave Leia.
Oh, hon, you're beautiful. But the thing is that, you know, when our Comic Con took a real beating. I was there, you know, Love him or hate him, I don't care. I mean, the gentleman that I'm not going to say his name. People who know him, but the gentleman that ran Comic-Con here for so many years, he's got people that either love him to death or hate him. Doesn't matter. He ran a good show. We had a good Comic-Con. It was fun. It was a blast to be a part of. I'd had very many roles in being part of that. Got to meet some wonderful people, and he brought nerdism into Winnipeg at a level that was stupendous. That being said, our own convention center ran him out of business. And I was there, and people say, "Oh, Mike did this, Mike did that." No, Mike didn't. Mike was standing there. I was standing beside him. He did a mini con in April. It was like a kind of a build-up. And I was the voice of Comic-Con for 2 years. So doing all the overhead announcements because I had my DJ booth set up there. And so I was standing beside him when the convention center actually came up and said, we're not giving you that date.
So yeah, here's the picture that he was referring to as of us at Garbage Hill promoting our sci-fi convention, KeyCon.
You know what's really funny about that picture, Willow?
What?
It looks like we're in front of a green screen, but we're not. That was the actual hill.
Yeah. Yep.
That looks cool. So.
And it looked like we were just waving white lightsabers like
Okay. So I don't know if you see the comment.
I'm reading. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just going to say that after COVID and after quarantine, I'm just going to not worry about Slave Leia, and I'm going to go as Jabba the Hutt. Because honestly, that's how much weight I've gained. So I might as well.
Oh my
You
God.
are not that big.
You're fine. You're beautiful.
It's been horrible. Or that, the crime boss that they kick off the slave or off the throne.
Really?
Yeah. I'm just being me. I'm sorry.
You know
Maybe we
what?
should all just go as really big characters. Just
I'm going to go as Boba Fett.
What about Pizza the Hut?
Oh, you know who I've always wanted? Like back when I was married, my wife wanted to make me a barf costume.
Nice.
I don't know. I think that would have been fun.
You'd be your own best friend.
I could have been.
Why not? I know that sounded terrible, but I'm like, well, I'm not even going to try the whole, Slave Leia thing because, well, I would never do Slave Leia anyway.
See, I would if it wasn't overdone. I kind of like my obscure outfits.
I really don't like to have parts of my body showing to people that don't generally show to people. That's just a me thing. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, here's me. And I'll go out in a Speedo if I can.
I'm going to try to cover that's just how I am though. Like provocative is weird for me. Like, I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to be naked in public.
See, it would be so much easier to do it in Florida. At least there's a reputation of people being crazy
it's not
in Florida.
cold. Like, you don't have to freeze to death.
I mean, there's a reputation of people being crazy here in Winnipeg too, but
well, the whole
I guess
like
if you
when
lived
you go
in
to
Europe, you would be the odd man out.
Well, I would be probably more okay with my body, maybe. I don't know. But people in Europe don't look like this either. Like they don't shave the way we shave, and they don't do things to their body the way that we do. So maybe it would be more socially acceptable. I don't know. But I never understood why Pikachu had to be a sexy Pikachu. Like, just it's a freaking fat little fluff ball. Damn it. Your ass doesn't need to be hanging out.
We live in a world where there's porn for everything, so eventually that's going to tie into our convention worlds too.
Yeah, I'm trying to share you something there. Let's see here. Can you see it?
Hey.
There's me covering all that needs to be covered. My head. That's my father standing beside me. Can you tell that we're father and son?
Your dad doesn't seem tan enough.
My
I'm
dad
just
is
waiting for
brighter than
Christian to
paper.
post something.
This holiday season, I shall whip out the Yuletide log and spread holiday
Well,
cheer.
when she says,
I think that's enough.
Hold on. She said there's porn for everything. I'm just waiting for him to say hashtag dino porn.
Hashtag holiday cheer right there.
Okay. Can we here's something that needs to be left in 2020, okay? Please, can we leave dino porn alone in 2020? It does not need to follow us into the new year.
What kind of porn?
Dino porn.
Google it.
No.
I tried. It doesn't. Nothing comes up for me. I'm not allowed. I guess. The convention is basically one alcoholic beverage from an yeah, I suppose.
Taser tits. Right on, Christian. Oh, taser face. That is
Yeah.
I think in Google it. What was it I said on one of our shows? Oh, I mentioned rusty trombone, and one of our viewers Googled it. I think I ruined that person's life.
There's your new hashtag, guys.
Hashtag rusty trombone. Google it.
Oh.
Well, what's the one you didn't know what it was? Snowballing?
Oh, there were so many things.
Okay, so Mark, my wife's a teacher, and there was something. She's a middle school teacher, so there were some things that she learned that she looked up, and yeah.
So 7 years ago, when I got to Florida, kids weren't as open and honest about things, so they'd say things, and I was like, "Well, I'm not going to ask what that is," so I would look it up. That's how I figured out what a rim job was. How I figured out what a dirty Sanchez was.
Oh my God. You just need to start writing shit down when your students say stuff.
And I'm like,
there's certain things you should really, really ignore.
This year, like it was 7 years ago. I was like, okay, so the miseducation of me is one thing. But like this year, they don't care. They don't care that I'm a teacher. They're like, oh, so miss. And they'll just tell me shit. And I'm like, I don't. Oh, la, 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 la. Like, please stop. And he's like, well, but. And I'm like, no, but. You don't have to tell me. I don't need to know.
Everybody needs to know.
It's a stage name.
Oh my God.
What happened? A nice,
I blame you.
normal.
I was so innocent when I first started broadcasting.
Liar.
I don't know that I was ever innocent. They're 13 and 14. I'm like, you must be Googling shit like I'm Googling shit, because I didn't know what that stuff was when I was 13. Of course, there were a lot of things I didn't know when I was 13. Must be, living in Podunk, Michigan and not having cable. Did you know that Pornhub has an intro?
Oh my god.
So do I.
I'm still shocked at that one.
I was like, will you turn your phone off? And everybody started to laugh. And I went, what are you laughing for? It's just a ringtone. It's not really a big thing. And they're like, no, that's the intro for Pornhub. And I'm like, oh.
How much
Oh
porn
my God.
are you watching that you realize that there's an intro to Pornhub?
And he made it his ringtone. Which was the same kid that said he was just going to skip college and be a stripper.
Apparently, I don't watch enough porn.
Well, that's not why people are going to Pornhub, is to listen to the music.
It's to watch the guy wash the dishes.
Yeah, I'd rather watch that porn anyway.
Well, actually, I thought it was to watch the person deliver the pizza.
Right. I forgot about that one.
I just
Are you trying?
Jazzy.
You're supposed to be playing the Pornhub intro. That won't stop. Please stop. How do I make this stop? There.
Oh my god.
My new
Never
phone
know
is
what's going to
really
happen
big.
if Kristen jumps in the chat.
This was fun, and I think I've ruined enough people's nights. So
Oh, Mark.
I'll be completely honest though. Like, there's a hairy palms in South Florida. I suppose because my kids say that Polk County is the armpit, so works out.
and before I leave, I used to date this girl named Barb. Her last name was Dick, and she used to attend a Bible college, and she would lie to her parents and come and spend the weekend at my place. Her and her roommate used to come. She was dating me, and her roommate was dating my roommate. And so they would lie and say they were going to each other's homes. Well, something came up, and Daddy found out that she wasn't at school, or wasn't at the other place. So he ended up at my house, knocks on the door, and said, "Hi, can I help you?" He goes, "I'm Harry." I'm like, "Harry?" He goes, "Yeah, I'm Barb's father," and I just broke out laughing. And I go, "Your name's really Harry?" He goes, "Yeah." I said, "Harry Dick?" And he looks at me, and I just closed the door. Meanwhile, now my door was at the back of the house. Meanwhile, my girlfriend's crawling out the window at the front of the house to get away.
Oops.
But I couldn't help but laugh. I said, "Really? Your name's really Harry Dick?"
Oh my god.
You know, like,
Even ask him if I mean, if you got the last name Dick, say your full name. I am Harold.
Yep.
At least his name
I
wasn't
suppose it'd be
Sloppy
like
or,
Harry Butts too. Like,
you know, at least he was like sloppy or big or
Well, when I was in
you
high
know what?
school, there was a student, and his name was Seymour, and his last name was Butts.
yeah.
you just
You know-
hate your child. If you do that to your child,
Even worse is ones that come from other countries that it doesn't translate the same there. I went to school with a guy named Hung Lo. I know.
Yep.
I mean, people bugged him about it and then paid the price because that guy could really kick ass. But
I
And his name is
had
hung low.
well, we have had an influx of Indian students, and so his name was Shatid, but it was spelled shithead, and it really was, and
Wow.
so
Which everyone is
culturally,
I'm in deep.
I'm just like that's just
I'm in
not
deep.
like change your name.
No, but the thing is, I generally don't make fun of other cultures' names because when they're naming, they're not thinking about the English translation
No.
or how it sounds in English because it's not the same thing there. So I usually want to take one of my lightsabers and turn those people into popsicles that make fun of other people's names. But that being said, I mean, I've got like 18 names, so and most people can't pronounce them. Here is the worst of them. My name Mordechai Mark Benjamin Yehuda Dobre. Yehuda, one of my middle names. Translation from Hebrew to English: Jew. My mother named me Jew.
Wow.
Well, I could understand. I can understand like the generally like cultural names,
Mhm.
but it's when people decide to take things and make them up that I have a problem with.
Well, I mean, I know one guy. He had an affair with the woman that was living with him and his wife. She got pregnant. All of them decided to keep and raise the child together and named him Anakin.
Wow. Okay. Apparently, they're Star Wars fans.
Yep. Oh, he was a Star Wars fanatic. And then there's also I met somebody his child's name was Solo.
Cool.
So before Mark goes, though, I think he should do like a Christmas wish. Like, what does he want?
Yes.
Like to say about people and like what he looks forward to the coming year.
That's a great idea.
I said it in our show, or no, I said it in our. John and I did a Christmas, Merry Christmas from now. What? I guess my Christmas wish would be that people think about what other people are going through before they start to try and judge them, or criticize or mock. Or this has been a tough year for all of us. We are going through things that we've never gone through before. We're going through, and yes, people. Is COVID dangerous? Yes, it is. Is it as dangerous as other flus? Yes, it is. Are there more dangerous flus out there? Yes, there are. But this thing is stupidly contagious. So when people are putting on masks and people are trying to be safe, don't mock them. If you don't want to be safe, don't be safe. But when you get it, don't cry to me. Don't cry to everybody else. Don't say, oh, it was me, because you know what? You brought it on yourself. Be happy. Be safe. Love each other. When you see somebody that is down, try and find a way to help them up. That's what I want. You see somebody standing outside of Tim Hortons, when you go inside, buy them a coffee. What does it hurt? $2 out of your pocket? It means a whole lot more to them. That would be my wish. Is that everybody just, treats everybody else with just a little bit more dignity. I mean, I'm guilty of missing out on those moments myself, but I'm trying to be a better person. I hope that other people can too. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
I don't
Thank
want
you,
world peace. I just want local peace.
Yeah, I hear you.
If local peace was everywhere, you'd have world peace.
If everyone can live with the motto of rise each other up like the rising tide, that would be awesome.
One of the things I got to do on Saturday last week was follow Santa around to the Jur family of Tim Hortons. And I was videotaping clips of it. I put it up on our show, our Christmas show Just some of it. Took some video of people saying Merry Christmas. But at every Tim Hortons I went to, one thing was always a common denominator. There was one homeless person standing outside in that cold, not going inside, just standing out there, not saying a word to anybody. I bought every one of them a coffee. And what did it cost me? $8. Who cared? It didn't change my life.
Yeah.
But it let them know that somebody was thinking about them. And years upon years ago, I used to live in Vancouver. And I'll just tell this little story before I leave. Years upon years ago, I used to live in Vancouver. My family moved there. Now, we don't get as cold as we get here. But in the winter, it rains like a bastard. It's always wet. And there's a major junction at 3 Road and Westminster. And there was a Safeway there, and there was a TD Bank there. And there was always this one homeless gentleman, and he had a shopping cart full of stuff. In the summertime, he lived out closer to the boulevard. But in the winter, he'd be right up against the bank, and he'd have a tarp tied down from the handles. So one day I went into the Safeway, and I saw him there. And it was Christmas time, and I went inside and I bought him a Christmas card. I'd seen him there for years. Never said a word to him. And it always bothered me that here's a human being and I'm just ignoring him. I was like everybody else, not looking at him, but seeing him there. But I would not look at him. So this one year, I bought him a Christmas card. And it was after I married my first wife. It was just after I married my first wife. And we were actually talking about him. And when I went to the Safeway, and I went and I sat down, and I gave him the card. He was, "What's this?" I said, "It's a card." And he goes, "Why?" I said, "Just so you know that there's somebody out here thinking about you." And he goes, "Okay, well, thank you." I said, "Can I sit with you for a bit?" And he said, "Sure." So I talked to him, and I learned so much about this man. He was allowed to stay there because his bank account was in that bank. And he was living this way because he became an alcoholic and a gambling aholic and lost his family to that. They disowned him. He could have gone and bought himself another house. The guy was a millionaire. He sat there, he lived that way to punish himself. He wasn't asking for anybody's handouts. If he wanted something, he could buy it. But he lived out of this shopping cart for years. I was in Vancouver for 9 years. And for 7 of those years, I saw him, or 6 of those years, I saw him there every day. So every now and then I'd stop by, say hello. Then one day he wasn't there anymore. So I went into the bank and I asked, "Where'd he go?" They found him dead on that corner, laying there. That hurt me because the bank said I was the only person to come in and ask about him. The bank noticed he was gone because they were found him. They were the ones who found him. The staff at Safeway knew he was gone because, he always went in there. But for some reason, nobody else knew he was gone. He just didn't matter.
Wow.
And so I promised myself that I would never not look. I would never look away from our homeless or our people that don't have. I'm lucky. I've got a home. I've got a beautiful son who comes and stays with me every second week. I've got wonderful friends like Willow. Willow's been there when I was in my darkest days and helped pull me through. And so I'm thankful for these things. And there's a lot of people that don't have that. And that's across the world. That's everywhere. In the States, here in Winnipeg. When I was still with my ex-wife, Kathy, we went to Toronto to see Madonna. I'd never seen homelessness like that. It was everywhere. But the problem lies in the fact is that there's so many asking, who do I give to? I can't give to one and not the other. So how do I give? I can't. I don't have the means. And yet there were people like him, that other gentleman who, when he goes, nobody notices. But a month later, there was a whole news story about him in the Vancouver on the news. And I was able to say, I knew him. I knew his name. I knew a little bit about him. But it still hurt me to know that nobody else seemed to care. If I could have one thing, let's try and care. I mean,
Absolutely.
I've got great people who care about me. Willow, John, Stephanie, my son, Michael, Scott, Joe, Garth. I can count. Well, I can't count on my hands how many people actually care about me. And one day, God forbid, I'm not a God believer, but the term fits, that I go quietly in the night. Somebody's going to miss me. And I'm lucky that way. So let's try and be nicer to each other. That's it. Simple.
I hear you. So Mark was the one who brought Richard Hatch to our sci-fi convention. And so I'd like to play a little song.
Oh my God. You have that?
Yes, I have it.
Oh my.
Here, let's restart that.
I got you, dude. No, I got you, dude. I got you. I got you, dude. Yes, that's so. There's the rent. Before, sir, our money's all been spent. Give me my microphone back. Jesus Christ. I guess that's so. We don't got a pot. At least I'm sure of all the things we got. Dude. I got you, dude. I got you, dude. Let's jiggle. I got flowers in the spring. Oh my God! I got you to wear my Captain Apollo ring. You are my clown, and when I'm scared, you're always around. Get up. Some say your hair's too long. Look at you, I'm sure they can't be wrong. Dude, put your little hand in mine. Oh, what's my line? Right here. Oh, David. There ain't no hill or mountain we can't climb. Now I'm gonna tell you an actor. Oh, there's more. I got you, babe. I got you, dude. No, babe, I got you. Call me, babe. I got you, dude. I got you, dude. I got you to hold my hand. I got you to understand, baby. I got you to walk with me. I got you to talk with me. I got you to kiss goodnight. Oh my God, no. I got you to hold. I got you. I won't let go. No, I won't let go. I love you so. I love you so. I got you, babe. Stop calling me babe. I got you, dude. That's better. I got you, dude. I got Forgive me, Captain Apollo. I got you, dude. I got you, dude. No, I got you. I got you, dude. I got you, dude. I got you, dude. Yes, you do, buddy. Always. You're going to keep doing that.
All right.
Thank you for making me cry. I met him at Comic-Con, and we became very, very good friends. When he was on Battlestar Galactica again on the new one as Zarek, I got pissed off one day, and I phoned him, and I said, your character needs to die. And he says, what episode are you watching? I told him, he goes, oh, wait. And he sat with me on the phone while I watched them execute him.
Oh my God.
Him and I would talk almost twice a month, 3 times a month. We were very, very close friends after a while. And I miss him. When I found out about his passing, that hurt.
It hurt a lot of us. Like, even though I wasn't a huge Battlestar Galactica fan, he made me want to watch that show.
He, at Comic-Con, when we were still at the Victoria Inn, that's when I met him. It was the last year we were at the Victoria Inn. He overheard me talking about how I was playing Dungeons and Dragons online with people from all over the world. I had set it up through ICQ and you what was the one Yahoo Messenger?
AOL? Oh.
Yahoo Messenger. And I had a camera pointing down at the map, and everybody would talk. And it was a game that went for about 2 years, and it was probably one of my favorite games ever. And he was actually working on an online multiplayer game, so he wanted to talk about it. So I said, well, what are you doing after the show? He says, not much. Do you live far from here? I said, not at all. He says, well, why don't we go to your place for a beer and we'll talk about games? And I said, sounds like a plan. And all of a sudden there was this rumor going around that I was throwing some party with him as a guest of honor at my place. And the people running Comic-Con came running up to my place. What's this? You can't have a party. I said, there's no party at my place. He's coming over for a beer. We're talking about gaming. Then I'm bringing him back to the hotel. He goes, that's it? I said, yeah. And so from that point, we became friends. But he saw my Battlestar Galactica video from the original movie. And he grabbed it and he signed it. I said, why'd you do that? He goes, because you didn't ask me. I said, no, I'm not here to fanboy over you. We're here to talk about this. He goes, yeah, but you know what? You made me feel like a person, not just an object. Here you go. He signed it. And you were there, Willow, when I told you my ex-wife gave all my video cassettes away to Value Village, including that one. And we were talking about it at Go for the Cure, one of the first Go for the Cures. And I was telling the story of how I lost this video. And this girl comes up and says, my mom bought that video at Value Village. And I looked at her and I said, I hate your mom.
Oh, no.
But he was such a great guy. Thank you for bringing that up.
No problem.
That made me cry.
Problem. I hope in a good way, though. Because,
in a good way. It was a good memory. We worked on that all night the night before.
It's one of my favorite moments from KeyCon. And, a lot of crap happened, and KeyCon's not the same without you, to be honest.
It is what it is. But, funny story with him. I picked him up at the airport. I'm waiting at the airport, and security is watching me from all angles because I was just kind of hanging out by the international thing, and I was being profiled. I think they were looking for the bomb. But when I mean, come on, face it, I look like a terrorist. But I picked him up at the airport, and on our way back, I was taking him to the hotel, and coming up Ellis there's a 7-Eleven at Ellis in Arlington, and it's not exactly stellar part of town. It's a rough area, And so him and I go into the 7-Eleven. And because the only place I could get this ginger beer I liked was at the 7-Eleven. And so I saw it on sale. Instead of $2.99, they were selling it for 75 cents a bottle. So I yelled at the guy, "Why is it so cheap?" He goes, "We're getting rid of it." He goes, "Only one idiot comes in and buys this stuff." and Richard Hatch looked at me, he goes, "Hey, Mark, are you that idiot?" I said, "Yep, I'm taking them all." And you should have seen the color go out of this guy's face when he realized I'm the idiot that drives across town to this one 7-Eleven to get this stupid drink that's no longer available.
Oh man. Everybody wants to go to bed soon, so I think I'm gonna call it quits. But
I'm going to say
you
love you all.
good to see you, Pop. Good to see you, Mark. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Thank you for inviting me. I almost forgot about it. But,
no, it's okay.
Love you, girl. You're the best. And
You know what?
Brian, this Sunday night we're doing our after Christmas now what? If you would like to join us on, you're welcome to.
Okay, that's cool. We can show our Christmas loot.
Yeah, there you go.
Santa better come then.
Saturday we're doing our show.
Oh, yeah. My studio is going to be torn down because right now it's in my dining room, and it's going to be moving downstairs into my rumpus room down there. Once we move the Christmas tree, right now there's just no room for it. But once we move it down there, that way we can have our dining room back. The green screen will go down there too. Funny thing is, it moves, but it doesn't. You can't see it move there. Here,
it's really creepy when you zoom in and zoom out.
Oh yeah, well I've got that new camera.
That is look, watch.
Green screen. That's all it is. Just green fabric. I got it for $30 on Amazon. The other one I had was one I bought $17 worth of material and hung it up there, and the tone was not right. It wasn't dark enough, so it was always hard to get the tone for it.
Yeah, I think the other color you could use is blue. It's a blue screen or a green screen.
Neat thing is the video editing I'm doing now I'm doing on DaVinci Resolve. Okay. And so if you pre-record something and you have a solid color behind you, you can pick whatever color you want and it will chroma key over it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what I'm planning on doing with this.
If you want to play with some video editing software, DaVinci Resolve 16 is free. And it is stupid powerful. Okay.
Good to know.
Okay. I did the program with Shaw on how to do video editing, and he told me about it because I was using another program that cost me $30. Did a great job. In fact, our title into the show is done on that program. But DaVinci Resolve, it's so much more powerful. Everything I've been doing recently has been on that, and I can't believe I love it. But,
well, definitely reach out to me on Facebook. You can go ahead and send me a friend request.
Okay, I'll see if I can find you. I think that's why I did. I tried finding you.
I'll send you the link.
Okay, send me his link. But have a great night.
Yeah, you too.
And, Willow, if you happen to be on your computer Sunday night, you're welcome to pop into.
Excellent.
Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you face to face. Both of you, Nicole and Brian. Good night.
Yeah, good night. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah.
Hanukkah
over?
Those two are funny.
Oh, sweet gentlemen. John's actually American, so every now and then he'll bug us.
He said he's from Vermont.
Yeah.
Ben and Jerry's from Vermont, right?
Yeah.
But no. So Saturday, what do we have planned for Saturday?
Pretty much gonna be like this.
The same crazy crap that we're doing right now.
But we're kind of gonna look back and how far we've come. You know, we're gonna look back at the year of pro wrestling and movies and TV. You know, or lack of.
Yeah.
So, this was supposed to be a Christmas spectacular, but I don't see that we did anything really for Christmas, like besides wearing a hat that itches my head.
Well, you know what? I could sing if you guys really want to listen to me sing, but you know what? I think the show was as good as
I'll
it
just
is.
skip the singing part myself. Like, I'll leave that to somebody else.
But what about his link? Do you guys want to see his link?
Another time.
Do they have a
unsolicited pictures? I'm not.
Well, I was gonna say, do they have a camera that small or that big? I mean, I don't know.
I don't know. Do we have reference material? Should we?
Well, you're the teacher. You have to pull out the ruler. I legitimately asked somebody if people actually did that. And I had kids that were like, well, yeah.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, I was joking. I mean, I'm sure that at some point in your life, you do get the ruler out and see how it's, stacks up.
Is it bad that I'm looking at the Christmas box graphic and thinking of the skit
Dick in a Box?
Dick in a Box. Can we say that that's one of the best Christmas skits from Saturday Night Live?
I'll tell you this: the only thing that Andy Samberg has done that I don't hate.
Yeah, I don't
know why.
Miss. I mean, some of his stuff is good.
I don't like him, just like I don't like Will Ferrell.
See,
I'm sorry.
You know what? I'm okay with some of his stuff. Brooklyn Nine-Nine is actually pretty funny.
I think there's the I don't like him, so I don't want to watch it.
Yeah.
But Terry Crews is funny.
I know it probably is a really good show, but
I think it really depends on who they're teamed up with, because I don't find Will Ferrell. Excuse me. I don't find Will Ferrell to be funny at all. Although Megamind was a fantastic movie.
The animation, he did the voice.
Yeah.
And he was good as the dad in the Lego movies.
Yeah.
I did like him in that, but I think it's honestly I pretty much the just in general the whole like
I knew that was coming.
Oh my God.
I'm not good. I could say, oh my God. I'm glad there wasn't wine involved tonight. Because I would have said what I was thinking. And
all right, this is what we need to do for Saturday. I need you to make me a warning graphic. Can you do that?
I could definitely do that.
Put it on the top of my mouth.
Because I think we're going to be very fun on that day.
But in all seriousness, like,
people needed this.
Humor
and
I think we need to have more people sit down and just kind of view the world the way we're seeing it.
Yeah.
And I don't think anybody could have probably said it better than Mark at this point. It's like we all want to be seen and we all want to be appreciated and we all want to have somebody remember us when we're gone. And I think this year, probably more than any other year, we've all kind of realized how important that was. And there's such joy in the little things. Like, I don't know why we don't.
What was the news? They had those two stories where the first one was the one Starbucks location. They ended up the pay it forward.
Yeah, so there was a Starbucks in, what was it? I don't know where. I don't know where, but they had 900 people go through the drive-through and pay it forward to the car behind them.
Holy shit.
So 900 times the person in front of them paid for their order. The person in front of them paid for their order. And so they just kept paying it forward.
That's crazy. The longest pay it forward chain I've ever had at Starbucks was about 45 minutes.
And
I mean,
just that alone though is great.
It's a great thing to witness. It's a great thing to be a part of, and just be like, you're jiving the whole time. Just like, do you want to pay for the person behind you? The person in front of you paid for you. Would you like to pay for the person behind you? And it's just like boom, 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 boom. The last person in my drive-through, I'm just like, the person in front of you paid for you. Unfortunately, there's nobody behind you, but you have a great day. Make sure that you pay it forward.
The one story, though, that was better than this one was the person that went, remember, he was in the car and he stopped by the homeless lady and he brought her to the apartment.
No, he drove past her all the time. He used to talk to her.
Yeah.
So, and he stopped and he said, something.
Late to the party.
Yeah, no kidding. But he said that he said, I got you an apartment. And he said, pack up your stuff and get in the car.
She didn't believe him.
And she's like, what are you talking about?
So she was blindfolded.
So he blindfolded her and he took her to her new apartment.
Oh my God.
He said, this is where you're going to stay. And she just was in tears. I'm like, see, it
had new furniture, brand new TV,
just like everything. Brand new everything. And it was just a modest, studio apartment, but it got her off the street. And, I think that
she lost her job. What it was.
When we have the means to help people, I think that that's when we should. And granted, a lot of us don't have the means to help somebody on that grand a scale, but, it's little things. It's, buying a burger for the guy that's, out there,
yeah,
cold and homeless. It's going to, somewhere and paying for the person behind you. It's, giving the, extra dollar or whatever to somebody when they're short. I mean,
I'm trying to remember, has that happened to us before? I think someone did pay for us one time.
Mm-hmm. And there wasn't anybody behind us, so we couldn't do it for them either. So
one of my favorite couples to come through Starbucks every day. Every so often, this one gentleman's wife will, they drive two different vehicles. They're on their way to work. They always stop in at our store. And so every now and then the gentleman will let his wife go in before him. And as soon as he gets to our speaker, he goes, I want to pay for the woman in front of me because it looks like she's having a really rough day. And he makes all these like really funny, elaborate stories of she's swearing, she's like throwing up his signs, she's throwing up the middle finger at me, and she's swearing at me. She seems kind of crazy. It's his wife. There was just one day where I found that out, where I had no idea, like when he was saying this to me, I'm just like, oh my God, is she okay? Right. And just like at this point, she's at my window and I'm looking, and I'm like, she seems calm. But then it's like, and then my coworker, she goes, that's his wife. He says that all the time. I'm like, oh my God.
It's funny. It's funny, but at the same time, it's like we do want to be. I think most of us want to be better people. Like, I don't think anybody wants to be sad and sorry for ourselves. Like, we don't want to be misery loves company, but that's why we have each other. That's why we have family. That's why we have friends. That's why we have people that we reach out to. And I think that the more open you are with those people, the more people can say, hey, you know, this sucks and I'm going through this. And
Yeah.
somebody can say, okay, you know, what do you need? You know?
Yeah.
I mean, I think if we were in a position where we could where we had the funds to help more people, I think we probably would. But at the same time, it's like the little things that I think we do every day to make the world a little bit better of a place.
Oh.
Hope we're leaving a legacy too, where our kids make it a better place too.
I do like periodically, like if it looks like a customer's having a bad day, or if for whatever reason their card gets declined or whatever, I'm just like, you know what? Go ahead, have your coffee on me. You know, $7 is $7. I'm not gonna chase someone down, you know, the parking lot for their money. Go ahead, have yourself a great day. You know, hey, there's been people oftentimes where people forget their wallets at home. I've done it. I've taken the bus for free because stupid me, I had forgotten my wallet at work. And, you know, I will always make sure that, you know, the bus fare gets put back in. You know, and shit like that happens. And if I can help someone have a better day for it, that's what my job is. You know, I'm supposed to go above and beyond for my customers, and I want people to do that in their real life. Go above and beyond for people.
But I think when there's certain jobs too that, you know, you're just supposed to be better, and so there are times when I can look back and at, you know, walking in my classroom and being like, oh my God, I have to do one more day of this. You know, it's like, this is going to be tough. This is, you know, whatever it was. And there's always something that happens that lightens the load, or something that happens. You know, nothing with kids is ever the same 2 days in a row. I mean, you know, there's always something new. And I always look at my kids as, you know, they're kids. And whether they're 14 or 12 or 10, it doesn't matter. They're still kids. And at the end of the day, they're still looking at us to be that person that's got their shit together. And when you say it's okay not to, you know, like, it's okay to be still figuring it out. Like, you know, it's all right.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you're that person, like, it's more so this year, I think, because my kids are more open, and maybe it's because I'm just generally a little bit happier. Like, I'm just in a better place as far as where I am, like the school that I'm at and things, that some of the kids have really crappy lives.
Yeah. Wow.
It's just, it's like things like that matter to people. Like, it really matters to them. And the fact that somebody reaches out, you never ask them to, they just do. And they're willing to do that for you. I mean, so John Krasinski does the Some Good News. And
he just did a Christmas
one. Did a Christmas one. And there was a guy he brought onto the show. So he had lost his job, and he was trying to find a second job to cover Christmas for his kids.
But with COVID, it was hard.
With COVID, he couldn't find anything that would give him the solid enough hours to have Christmas for the kids and to make all the bills. So he went to Twitter, and he tweeted, and he went on to eBay, and he started selling off all of his nerd everything, like everything that was his favorite things.
Toys,
he sold
comics,
comics, and all kinds of things. So John Krasinski goes onto eBay, found this guy, and goes onto his eBay account, and he tries to buy all of his stuff.
But the guy blocked it because...
But the guy blocked him like 3 times, and then sent him a message and said, this is kind of hinky. I don't know, you can't be legit and everything. So
because all the accounts were new, like
because they were
John
all
Krasinski
new
went on
accounts.
to make an account just to buy this
So
stuff.
he could buy this stuff for this guy.
Wow.
And in all of that, he tweeted his like eBay account, the profile and stuff,
and
his information to The Rock. And so he says, "Hey Rock, I'm one of your biggest fans." He said, "Would you be willing to just retweet this? I'm trying to put a nice Christmas together for my kids, and I'm out of work. Just retweet this." It's all he asked for. So Rock retweeted it. And then John Krasinski brought him on his show and told him that he was trying to buy his stuff. And he's like, "I'm so sorry I blocked you. I didn't know. It didn't seem like it was legit, yada, yada, yada." And he says, "Well, that's okay, because we've got Dwayne Claus." So Dwayne Johnson is like there, and he's like, "So this is what we're going to do for you." He says, "You just asked me to retweet it. You didn't ask me for anything. You asked me for a retweet." He says, "So in this case," and he did all kinds of things. He's like, "Your kids, we're going to make sure your kids have
everything they wanted,
everything they had on their list." And
he went one step further.
And then he was like, I think he managed to, he told him to shut down his thing. He was going to get all of his stuff back that he had managed to sell.
Yeah.
And he said, "I'm going to take this script from the movie,
Black Adam,
from the Black Adam
that The Rock
movie.
is working on. And
he's going to leather bound it, sign it, and send it to him."
Oh my word.
"That's your gift." He said, "That's your gift for trying to do this for your kids." And I'm like,
that's amazing.
He never asked for anything. He's like, "I'm just sitting on this show with you guys." And he says, "That's enough for me." Wow. And I'm like, this guy didn't ask for anything other than, retweet this so that I can unload this stuff so I can have a nice Christmas for my kids. Come to find out, it's been 3 years since his wife died. So they were just getting, back to some sort of normal. And I'm like, all he did was ask for a retweet. And I'm like, and these guys, like, they were like legitimately like, let's help, And John Krasinski laughed about it. He's like, "So you blocked me twice." And he shows the email that he sent John Krasinski.
He's like, "Is this your John Cena figure?"
It was hilarious. And he's like, "I am so sorry. I didn't know it was really you." And then, Dwayne The Rock Johnson comes on, and he is like, "Well," and he's like, "I am a super fan." And he's like, "All you did was ask me for a retweet. I can do better than that."
Oh my God, that's so sweet.
And then there was just in Kansas, I think there was a Walmart where somebody donated $60,000 and paid off all of the leftover layaway.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's little things like that mean the world to people.
Yeah.
Most of us everybody needs a little help sometimes.
Yeah.
And so most of us aren't really looking for this giant payday. We're just looking for somebody to acknowledge that shit's tough sometimes.
Yeah. And like Carl says, like with his story there, like, man, thank you very much, Carl, for sharing your story, first of all. And like, wow, it means a lot. And you guys
can you imagine though that person is just grateful every month that somebody's willing to do that for them?
Yeah.
And that people I'm not going to go and tell everybody in the world that I'm doing this for people. That's the other thing that, people are like, "Oh, well, I did this and I did that." And it's like, that's not why people do it.
It's like they want, what's the word? Notoriety.
They want some sort of accolade for being a good person. It's like, just be a good person and help somebody, like, if I had the means to do stuff like that, like we always joke, well, if we won the lottery, what would we do? And I'm the lame-o that says, well, first of all, I'm paying off all my damn student loans because
paying off my credit card.
They cannot have my soul, I would like to have my soul free and clear, but I will die in debt, just so everybody knows. So In case you're looking for a charity case, I am happy for you to pay my student loans. But
see, Brian, you put you made your Amazon list public not that long ago. How'd that go, by the way?
No.
Not well.
See, that's the part that I'm kind of weary about. Like, yeah, I know you can make good money being like streaming, game streaming, and being an online broadcaster and doing these podcasts. Morally, I do not feel right about asking for money from anyone. It's just the way I grew up. I grew up in foster care, and the last thing I want is to be a charity case. And I put myself through college, broadcasting school, and I would not feel comfortable asking for money from strangers. So, and then when Garrett told us that we're gonna have all our shit on our store and we're gonna make money, I'm just like, no. You know what? Morally, I don't feel right about asking people to buy my shit. I mean, yeah, as cool as it is to see people wearing our stuff, I don't know. I
think though,
but I don't know if I feel right about asking people to buy it.
I think though that part of that is that if you're marketing a brand, then if that's something that you're going to do, then you put the money right back into whatever you're doing. So like we would take whatever proceeds came from the merchandising and dump it right back into the show. So it would upgrade the camera, it would buy the green screen, it would do those things to make our show better. Yeah. And then it would help in those little things. Like, it's not.
Well, that's what
I figure nobody's going to get rich. Like, we're not going to get rich off of our merchandise, but it's those little things that help just the everyday stuff. Like, the paycheck only goes so far. So sometimes the stuff for our show is the last thing we pay for. And so it's the last thing we have because we just don't have the cash to sink it all at once. Like we started it from our kitchen table, just shooting the shit. Like that's pretty much what we started doing.
Yeah.
Let's just talk for an hour about the dumb stuff that we talk about on the sofa. That's what we were going to say. And we just happened to have time to do it. And it wasn't about money or anything. It was just about, it's fun. Yeah. Let's be dumb for an hour. Let's be goofballs or let's whatever. And then it was like Garrett picked us up and it kind of was just something we're continuing to do. It's not like we're definitely not getting rich off of it, but we're having a good time. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So at the end of the day, if we're all talking about, the stuff that excites us and we're all excited about the same things, it's like we're reaching out to our nerddoms and our, the people who matter to us and say, hey, we're so excited that you're here. And, we just have a good time. Like at the end of the day, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
So if you do buy a shirt, cool. You know what? That money will go into paying for the green screen or paying for a banner or paying for whatever other thing that might be cool for us to try to dump back into our show and make it fun.
Yeah.
That's what Garrett and them, that's what they've been doing forever. Like how they keep upgrading their camera, and that's why they have a website now.
They keep putting things in that kind of elevate the name, and that is really important to moving forward. And I think that once you put it in, the whole thing about the web camera was priceless. Like it really was. And you carried on about how upset you were about it, but it makes you look better and it makes you
I am forever
visually
grateful
better. So it makes the show better.
And speaking of looking better, look at that red hair.
I know, right? So now we can actually see it. Look at how long it's gotten too. I'm like, oh my God.
I tried trimming it not that long ago. So yeah, I need to trim it again. But
Curly
yeah.
hair. Curly hair.
Oh, Carl.
We need to buy a new light. Yes.
I keep saying that we need to have to either be like front lit, like on the other side of the computer.
Yeah, where they have the central
because
light.
It's not. We don't have enough light that comes this way. It all comes down. So it's like I don't have any eyes. Like you can't see my eyes. I'm like, well, it's too dark everywhere else. There's not enough light in this entire house. If you sell your hair, that's weird. Like
I won't be able to sell it. It's not virgin hair. It's been dyed and
well, don't sell it to just anybody because they make a voodoo doll out of it, and crazy shit would happen.
It's already a weapon to my face. There are days where it's like Medusa all over the place.
Mine is a weapon to the drain.
That too, yes.
I have a student at school who doesn't have very many boundaries. Apparently, it must be I don't have a family, therefore I don't really know what boundaries are. So I have my my hairbrush because curly hair, it happens. So I brush my hair, and he looks at my brush and he says, "Don't you ever clean this thing out?" And I'm like, "Yeah, the last time I brushed my hair." And he goes, "Really?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "You have a small dog in your hairbrush." I'm like, "Every day." And he's like, "Are you serious? Is that normal? Should I be worried about you? Are you dying?" I'm like, "No, I'm just..."
I shed worse than my own cats.
Worse than the dog. So he was like, among other things that he's asked me if I was okay about. Which is really funny because I told him that I would adopt him. I was like, "You could be my kid." Like that's how well we get along, which is scary. But so the one day, the price of having children is that at some point you lose control over bodily functions. So I bent over and I threw up in my mouth.
Oh. And
so this is probably more information than any viewer wants, but I'm one of those people that I don't have, like some people have an epiglottis, like it keeps I don't have that anymore. I don't know what happened. Sometime after children, it died. And so I bent over and threw up in my mouth and I swallowed it and I'm like, "I'm gonna die." And of course I have my mask on, so I can't breathe. And I'm like, "Ugh." And so I sit outside for a minute and I'm like, "You're not going to vomit. You're not going to vomit. Everything is going to be fine."
There you go. There's Christian.
Talk to myself. So, it was really bad. So he's like, "Are you all right?" And I'm like, I'll get back to you on that. And he's like, "Are you going to be okay?" And I'm like, "Well, I didn't throw up inside my mask, so I guess."
Yeah,
and he's like, "Thanks for sharing." I was like, "Well, you asked." LED lights. Ooh.
Well,
that's a good idea.
You know that store?
Yes, but we don't have one around here.
No, I know.
I know of it. I know of it because of the commercials.
It's in Michigan. My mom goes there all the time. Off of his shaved head, like I have really no eyes. I have no eyes, just eyelids and a forehead.
My husband has a hobby light that I often steal for lighting purposes. I used it to. This is how nerdy I am. He asked me. I think this is how nerdy we both are.
That on purpose.
Kristen, stop.
He asked me to take a picture of his Wraith, which is a remote control truck. So I'm like, okay, yeah. He was thinking about selling it to one of his friends. So I did a photo shoot with a remote control truck. Perfect lighting, did the whole backdrop and everything. I made it look so pretty using this hobby light. So yeah,
maybe that's what. I don't know. We need Christian to stop talking about extra chunky anything.
Well, look what Carl says.
Yep. Well,
And I have a pretty strong stomach. Weak heart, but a strong stomach.
All right, so we don't want to end the show on this note, but all right. So if you are so inclined to help, purchase something, by all means, we have Hanging with Web has a store. You can find my stuff. Oh, look at this. You can buy t-shirts. You can buy sweatshirts, pullover. I have a pillow. You can buy a pillow of me screaming to it all you want. De-stress yourself.
Hold on. Wait. Hold on. She left
pillow.
She left this open. She said you can buy a pillow of me, and Christian just died.
Yes, you can buy a pillow of my logo. Use it to de-stress yourself. However, which way you want. All right.
Can we put it over Christian's Wraith?
So yeah, go to our website, Hanging with Web, hwwswebtv.com, and go to the bottom where you see the little shopping cart, and you can just look up Willow's Pillow Talk. You can find even Reels and Heels. You can find us all on Hanging with Web TV. And as
soon as Thomas, I'm telling you, as soon as Thomas has the Holy Frackin' Shirt Balls shirt, I am buying that shirt. Now, Jay Bauer does have his oh my God, I can buy Willow's pillows and I can distress myself.
Oh boy.
He said de-stress, not distress. De-stress.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, we've gone there.
It didn't take long. It just didn't take long to derail right into the gutter.
Well, she's always wanted that After Dark show.
Hey,
we just got to get the rest of the Pomature crew in here. It's
after 10 o'clock here.
It's 11:22 here, so we're good. I mean, our kids have not gone to bed, but it's okay because I'm their mother, so it's good. This is the tamest they've got.
But yeah. All right, I think that's where I'm going to end the show. We've gone long enough. I have to work in the morning.
He wants to buy you now.
Oh, we'll talk.
I'm going to shut up right now.
So yes, let's all go to bed. Let's all de-stress ourselves however which way we want to tonight.
You know, I could just say though, the After Dark show between you and Willow, I think it would be an interesting show.
Alcohol involved because I'm.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a glass of wine.
Your child is awake, so I will not say any more.
It's okay. He is pretty. We watch Harley Quinn, for God's sakes. We're good. Oliver knows a thing or two about a thing or two.
Yeah, he may teach you something.
So why are you growing your hair out, Oliver? So you can be what? Are you trying to be emo? Yeah.
I'm already emo.
My blonde-haired, blue-eyed boy wants to be emo.
Grow it out, dude, and you can sell the hair. Make a wig out of it.
I don't have a wig.
No, they would take your hair and make a wig out of it. But we would have to do that when you grow it really long.
How about this one?
Notice it's just you. Like all the guys from the Netherlands, they're after you.
Right?
I have no answers for that. Honestly, I have no
answers. About Willow, I guess.
I don't know why they like me so much. I don't know why they flock to me. I am the most oblivious person alive.
It's okay. You know what? I'll take a break from being the Pied Piper of weird and let you have the reign. Because usually it's my thing.
I'm weird to the point where I'm awkward weird.
Maybe that's why we get along so well.
Oh my God.
Oh Lord, have mercy. You want to dye your hair red? You can't dye your hair red because then they won't take it.
Get yourself some Manic Panic. That way it washes out within a couple washes.
Look.
I'm big everywhere.
Okay, so Saturday show, make sure we have wine.
Oh Lord.
There may be alcohol.
There will be alcohol. Yeah. I gotta work till 1:30, so I'll be like running in here pouring a drink while
I'll just be running around, just jumping on the walls.
Jumping on the walls.
Some of us do have to wake up early in the morning, and I have to send him to bed. So we will have to reconvene on Saturday. You guys have a great night. Thanks for stopping in. Thanks for joining us today. You can find me on, everywhere on social media. You can find us on Saturday afternoon on Reels and Heels. Brian, Nicole, where can we find you?
Find us every Saturday at 2:15 on Facebook Live and on HWWS Web TV on Reels and Heels for our crazy antics and disorganization. And Reels and Heels on Facebook and Twitter and all that good stuff.
All that good stuff.
And then nobody wants to find us, in our regular lives, so it's okay.
Oh my God. Well, it's been a fantastic time hanging out with you guys for sure. You guys have a great night. Love you. Peace. All that good stuff. Have a good one.
Thanks for hanging out on Willow's pillow.
I'm out of here.